Greetings. In this video, I'm going to be challenging Zotez, Zombie Botez, for she's rated 800. So this is the zombie version of hers. I'm at chess.com. And so this video is going to be geared towards somebody who's maybe just looking at how to develop some ideas. Maybe you're new to chess and you want to know where to start. You know how the pieces move, and you want to know where to go from there to get some good development ideas. And if you don't know that much about chess yet, I do have another video, and I'll put a link to it at the end of this video, where I talk about everything you need to know about chess. So let's go ahead and challenge. We'll play the black pieces. And in the beginning, just want to control the center. So that's the big idea, is number one, control the center. And number two, develop your minor pieces. So your minor pieces be your bishop, your two bishops, and your two knights. Okay. Your major pieces are your two rooks and your queen. And just as a side note, pawns are not considered a piece, but they do have a numeric value of 1, which is a good way to keep track in your head. So minor pieces would be 3, rooks would be 5, and a queen is 9. So 2 rooks together equals 10. So 2 rooks is more powerful than a queen. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Let's do some ideas to control the center. And I'm just going to e5 and meet. So now this is being attacked. So I think I'm going to push up a pawn and protect it with that. Okay, now I really want to get some of my pieces developed, so I'm going to put a relative pin on this knight attacking the queen. As soon as this knight moves, it'll lose, Zombie Botez here will lose the queen. So it'd be an absolute pin if the king was here, because then, you know, there's nothing you could do about it. You absolutely cannot move this knight. But this is a relative pin because it could move the knight if maybe there was some kind of mate down here or something. This is always something you got to watch out for. This F file, by the way, is something that is often attacked early in the games. So especially when you're around 800 or something, this happens quite a bit. So keep an eye out for that. And so we want to develop pieces and control the center, and so I'm going to go ahead and develop a knight. Again, I'm just trying to control the center. Okay, so here's a pawn that's undefended. So can I take it, or am I just being greedy? Is there a trap somewhere? I think I could take it, so I'm going to take it. Okay, and so another thing that I have to be careful about early in the game is this b7 pawn. Now I don't want some kind of an attack like this. You'll see that quite a bit in games early on. So okay, so I'm up a pawn, and so now I'm just trying to think. Remember, now I want to develop my minor pieces, castle, and then start getting the major pieces into the game. So I'm looking to control the center and develop my minor pieces. And so I think what I'm going to do, it's not much of a development, but it is somewhat. I'm going to push this, or get this bishop out here. Okay, now my bishop's under attack. I could do take, but then I'm being forced to make moves. I have to, my knight will be under attack. So I think I'm just going to keep this pin here. Of course, now I'm being forced to deal with this. So get the bishop protected. And so now I have to think about, if this pawn moves, this is opened up. So this is the kind of things that you should be thinking about, and all the while I want to develop my minor pieces. So I'm going to get this knight developed and get it out here, with the idea that I was kind of expecting this kind of thing. I was going to hop over here and threaten that bishop. Normally you want to have your pieces in the center because they control more squares. Like this knight here, for example, get those arrows off there, controls this, this, and let's see here, this and this and this. Okay, so as opposed to if a knight's on the edge of the board, you know, depends on where it's at, but these squares would be cut in half on what it controls. So something to be aware of. Okay, so now this is being attacked. I do have a defender, so I think I'm going to, I don't see any other real threats. I'm going to go ahead and castle for the sake of keeping things going here. And let's see, my knight's being attacked. My opponent's trying to kick me out of the center of the board and put me in some squares that aren't as valuable. So let's see here. I hate to go back where I started. Coming back here doesn't do me a whole lot of good. So anyway, the idea is this is the kind of things that you want to think about. So if I go back here and there's a take, I'll have a double stack pawn, which I normally try to avoid, but I really don't want to go back here, so I'm just going to come back here. And to my surprise, she didn't take. When I take, it's going to be check. But there is one thing I want to show you. This is something to be aware of. Is I have this knight out here with one defender. My opponent has two attacks on it, two attackers. So that's something I need to be aware of. However, this is check and it has to be dealt with. So I'm going to go ahead and do the check. It has to be dealt with. And so now my knight here is definitely in trouble, but I'm going to go ahead and move him out of harm's way. And I don't really want to go here and block this bishop. I'm just going to go back here and see what she does. Okay, I really thought she would take, and then I'd end up with double stacked pawns, but that's not the case. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's a battle going on for this square. I own it with the knight or with the bishop, but then my opponent owns it with 3 pieces, and I only have it with 2. But I have a pawn right here that I can push up and attack both these pieces, and I'm putting pressure on this queen. So I'm going to do that and see how Zombie Botez responds. So I lost the pawn, and let's see, I'll do this, threatening the queen. And okay, so perfect. Here I'm using my piece that's worth 3, and I'm going to take a piece that's worth 5. So my minor piece is going to take a major piece, and there it is. Okay, so that exchange was in my favor. I'm up 2 points. And okay, so now I see this file right here is open. It's open because there's no pawns on this file. All the other files are closed. So one thing to watch for is I want to own that file, not my opponent. So I'm going to slide over my rook. Of course, I do have, there is a little bit of danger here. I could lose a pawn. So, you know, it's tough decision. I want to push this pawn, but then it's take and take, and then I'm exposing my queen. So, you know what? I think I'm going to deal with this first and push up a pawn. Okay. And now I want to try to control this open file. Now that I'm hunkering down on that queen, okay, good. So now a good way for me to own this file is to get this bishop out of the way, and I do see that if I come here, I could threaten this rook, and then at the same time, my rook will be out of the way and I'll own this file. So I am going to do that. And this is slowly how it's these little ideas that add up, and that's the key to this whole thing. Is when you're in chess, you see some games with grandmasters, you see these massive wins or something, and sometimes that happens, in these 10 move games and stuff. Usually I'm on the losing end of those, by the way. But so it's these little wins is usually what does it here. So having said that, let's see what we want to do here. I would like to, one of the things is you have to use your pieces together in chess. So one piece by itself, even the queen, can't do a whole lot. You need to get your rooks together, queen and a bishop or something. There has to be some kind of combo for these to work. Now I can do a check, but I'm trying to decide if it really goes anywhere. I mean, it could push this pawn down to defend that position, and then I'm just forced to move my bishop right back. So that hurts me and it benefits my opponent. So I'm not sure that's a good idea. So I think right now, so there is my opponent has a dark square bishop and I have a dark square bishop. So I tell myself that to try to keep my pieces off the dark squares, just as a mental note. There's lots of things. I could come here and attack this. I know it's defended, but if I push this rook up, it won't. So, I think I'm going to push the rook up. Now, I will show you, I have to be careful because although my queen, this is a common thing in chess, although my king is well protected, it's also trapped. I could fall for just a trap where it's checkmate because my king can't go anywhere and there's no pieces to defend. So I need to be careful of that before I get too many pieces off of this bottom rung here. So let's see here. I'm going to go up there and let's see. Okay. So my opponent's attacking this, but it is defended at the moment. If this queen was here, I'd be in trouble because it'd be queen come down here, it'd be check. Okay, so I need to be careful about having my pieces leave this bottom rank here, the 8th rank. From my perspective, it's the first, but it's the rank number 8. Okay, so I believe I'm going to do a check at this point, and we'll see. Okay, and again, being careful with this bottom rank here. Okay, so one thing is the queen and the king, my opponent's queen and king are lined up. If I had a white squared bishop, this would be a good opportunity to look for something. And so here I think I'm going to just leave that, and I need to do something. I want to get the queen into the game, but my queen is kind of, in a manner of speaking, pinned to the back rank because if this happens, it's over. So I think I'm just going to give myself an escape route if I need it. And let's see what happens here. Okay. So I really want to try to use, okay, I was wanting to use my queen like a bishop and have an attack right here, and it would have been over, honestly. Because I own all this, there would have been no escape route if I would have got my queen here. So that's what I was looking to do, and she sees it and she's like, no, I don't think I'm going to let you do that. So I didn't think she would, but you never know. Okay, so let's see what else I can do. Since I have an escape route now, if I need it, I'm going to try to get my rook and my queen lined up here. So let's do that. Okay. So this, when you see something like this, you have to be careful, make sure it's not a trap. Because I think 800 is tricky enough that you could see a trap happen. Is this a free rook? The knight could go here. My king's all the way over here. I think it's a free rook, so I'm going to take it. Is there any way for me to get in this beautiful position out here? I don't see it. So, okay, I'm just going to take that rook. I'm going to be greedy and take it. And let's see here. My bishop's under attack. I think I'm just going to retreat it back one and see if I can get this queen and this rook lined up. Okay, so the knight is attacking my rook. I really wanted to go here so that I could have future ideas of bringing the queen out to here. But those future ideas are not going to happen with this knight sitting right there. So I'm just going to come here and attack the knight for now. Let's see how she responds. Okay. And I have to remember that this is constantly under attack right now. I haven't moved it, so something to be aware of. But I am going to go ahead and take this. Okay, so now what I'd really like to do is get my queen here so I can have more future ideas of this kind of thing. But as soon as I move my queen, this is going to happen. So I think I'm going to get my rook to safety first, and so I'm going to get my rook to safety. Let's do that. Okay, now my rook is still under attack. So let's see, actually I should have moved. No, it's just going to take though. Okay, so this is a pretty good play by my opponent, because if I jump up here, I think for now I'm tired of having that situation. Even though I'm not being threatened directly, I'm going to move my king out of this troubled spot. That way it takes a little pressure off, and now I'm free to do this. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm glad this happened, actually, because sometimes in chess you have to see if you want to do an exchange or not. And so usually the rule of thumb is if you're up material, do the exchange. If you're down material, don't do the exchange. And since I'm up 10, because I have 1, 2, 3 major, 1 minor, my opponent has 1 major, 1 minor. So I'm up, so I will take the exchange. So it's going to be take, and there it is. So now the way you look at it is, okay, so the pawns are evened up, minor, so you got a rook versus rook. So I have or I'm sorry, bishop against bishop, but I have 2 rooks that my opponent does not. So I want to own this open file. So, and it's on a light square. My opponent has a dark squared bishop. So I think it's a good thing to do that. Okay. And now, let's see. I need to use my pieces together. This pawn is causing me some trouble because I can't go here for check and start bringing other things into play. So let's see what I can do here. I think I'm going to get my rooks lined up another way, and that is right here on the second rank, which allows me to start doing ideas like this. Now, when you see this, just FYI, they call this pigs on the 7. Now, I know this is actually the second rank, but because nothing can stop these 2 rooks, they swing back and forth, helping each other out, and they eat everything on that rank. And so that's why they call them pigs on the 7. And so now let's use these together. You know, I think I'm just going to bring my bishop in here. This is pretty much won at this point, but you know, hang on, let's do this right. And so here we go. This is going to be it now. And there it is. Okay. So I hope that helps. And just remember, the big thing I want the audience to remember here is control the center, develop your minor pieces, try to control those open and semi-open files, and use your pieces together. If you're up material, go ahead and do the exchange. If you're down material, try to avoid exchanges. And that should get you started if you're just learning chess. So thank you for watching, and check out some of my other videos. I got some other good stuff out there. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.